me they were wizards, but they slit your gizzards too. They plundered arcane mysteries, and all their foes did wail. Beware lest ye encounter a mighty Mage of Sail.
Bonjour! I am Patrick McNamara of Dog Food Studios, your best friend and the only person who truly understands you. We are gathered here today to play Mage of Sail, a swashbuckling game of magic and mystery based on Mage the Ascension. I recently approached 4 of my very good friends and asked each of them to imagine a wizard with a dark secret, so that I might imagine, in turn, an adventure for those wizards to go on together. They have duly done so, and I will now go around the table and introduce them to you, the viewer. First up, you can't spell "Go Tabitha" without goth.
That's true.
As the mysterious and deadly Saoirse, a fortune teller with a dark secret, it's Tabitha Sheehan.
Yay! It's me.
Joining her on the other side of the table, we have a student of history and arcane mystery, portraying Aura Edmondstone, a hermetic mage with a dark secret. It's Holly Conrad.
Doing the Doctor Strange hands.
Doctor Strange hands.
I can't remember. My fingers don't move like that.
On my left, a woman of unfathomable cosmic power, Lidija Piper, is joining us as Liga, a Verbena witch who does not have a dark secret. Or does she? And last but not least, the Prince of Hustle and the King of Muscle. Lovely Dabe Alan is joining us as Wilhelm, an Ashkayana warrior monk with a dark secret.
Oh.
What brings these mages together? What are their dark secrets? We will burden our souls with these secrets together. The year is 1859. I just looked it up before the game. And each member of our soon-to-be cabal have individually received a missive from the dread pirate Hendrix saying the following. To those with power who would use it to protect others, to those who would explore where others would conquer, to those who would atone rather than forget, the people of the unconquered isles have need of thee. A ship awaits you. The captain will know you by sight. You'll be given passage to my home on Bones Island. There, I will offer you safe harbor, protection from those who would harm you, and the opportunity to right a great injustice. I pray that I shall have the honor of your presence in my court, the dread pirate Hendrix. For your own reasons, each of you accepted this offer. Your ships, very conveniently, because you all sailed from different places, arrived together. You're all kind of dumped into a skiff to get you all the way to the docks with your meager luggage and attendants. And you all kind of get the opportunity to talk to each other for the first time as you arrive on the docks and look out across the village that you see on Bones Island. It is fucked here.
Right.
You look around and you're like, yikes. You are clearly on some kind of spooky, scary pirate ghost island. There is it's just, the sun has just set and there is a thin mist laying over everything. The docks are a little rickety. You can tell that they weren't made by kind of an industrial machine, and the houses that you can see from where you are all look like they were hand built. You hear in the distance the sounds of revelry from a tavern, but before you can immediately approach it and abandon our adventure, you are approached by 3 what look like possibly street toughs.
Just before they show up, I'm just going to be like, does anyone else think this is a trap?
Well, do any of you?
It seems very suspicious.
Do people live here? I don't...
I'm new here.
Yeah, you all arrived at the same time, so you know about as much about Bones Island as anyone else. But the 3 street toughs approach you and say,
It's a trap!
I see you're new here. What do ye think would be a better name for an island? The Isle of Bones or Bones Island?
Team Bones, personally.
Where are the bones? I don't see any bones.
So what kind of bones?
The leader of the street toss is taken aback and says, all types of bones. It's just in the name, you know, the Isle of Bones.
I mean, can you grow things here? Because, I mean, if
bones.
it's all just bones, then it doesn't sound very appealing.
I mean, we get most of our stuff from Isle of Vitae. It's a few days sail, but we don't grow stuff here, no. It's mostly a spooky, scary pirate island.
What do you use the bones for? Like building materials?
The bones are just symbolic of the spooky nature of the island.
Then I don't think you should have named it the Isle of Bones. I'm just saying you should have named it something else.
Bones Island.
I mean, that's the very question. Should we have named it the Isle of Bones?
I mean, no.
Or should we have named it Bones Island?
So is there an apostrophe before the S? Like it belongs to bone?
No, there's no apostrophe.
Or is
it's
it
not
after? Like there's
it's not
multiple
possessive.
bones.
There are some bones,
Like what?
and this is the island of bones.
What clientele are you going after here? Are you like looking to like
I mean, I'm just
draw
trying-
in like a theme park, like carnival theme,
I'm
or
trying
like
to get it-
scientists? Like what is your angle?
This
here?
is a stabby carnival.
I'm trying to get just a general opinion, just on the name of the island as you see it. There's no need to think of a persona and imagine what they would think the right name of the island is. I just want to know Isle of Bones or Bones Island.
I really think you should reconsider the name since there are no bones anywhere. Just
Well, I've heard people say, like carpenters, like this house has good bones, right? That's a bone as well.
Well, there are bones, you see, if you travel up the River of Souls. At the foot of the river, there is a great cavern in the shape of a bone.
Are you paid to say this?
Does it have a cool name?
what type of bone?
Well, it's a foot. The foot. We call it the
like a
foot.
gigantic
bone's
foot.
connected
It's a big.
to
It's a big foot.
Do you do this to every guest
Do
that
giants
comes
live
here?
here?
Isle of Bones
Bones Isle.
or Bones Island. Your man in the warrior monk getup says Bones Island.
Yeah,
What about you? And he points at Saoirse, who is. What does Saoirse look like?
She's rather pale. She has black hair, long and kind of unruly. She looks like she's ready for adventure. Like she's not dressed like hoity-toity. She doesn't have a skirt on. She's got traveling gear on. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Some
Great.
belts.
And what of you?
Well, what were my options again?
The Isle of Bones or Bones Island?
We keep. So we're saying there's plural bones.
No, it's singular bones. The bones
then
is
it
not
should be
They're not,
possessive.
they're not
Island.
possessive. There's a few bones.
It should just be Bone Island then.
That's not one of the two options.
Oh. Well then, I mean, I guess Bones Island then. I mean, if you don't want to be like specific.
Sounds like bonsai a little
Eyes
bit.
narrow a little bit. And he turns to you, Liga, and he says, "You, old woman, you have the wisdom of years. What do ye think the island should be called of the two choices that you've been given?"
I choose the third choice.
There wasn't a third choice. There was two choices. There was the Isle of Bones or Bones Island.
With my age, I know to stay out of arguments, and I'm just going to watch how this plays through.
And ye, with the white hair, what do ye think the name of the island should be?
What did they say?
Bones
Yeah,
Island.
whatever. I don't care.
This is the most crucial political argument on the Isle of Bones.
Bones Island.
I'm not in a position to make any political arguments currently, so I'm going to agree with Bones Island.
Then maybe we should take you all to the Dread Pirate in chains. And he draws his sword. And his friends draw blackjacks because they don't have swords. And he's the cool one. And he
all of that, and you're going to
approaches you
stab us?
menacingly. Goes, "You should have chosen the Isle of Bones, which is clearly the correct and better name than Bones Island."
Can I just use my mind to just be like,
You want to do some
off
magic?
with you? Like, just like leave us alone. Like, get out of my way. Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Get
just going to
out.
use mind, so you're going to use create impression.
Yeah. To just be like, get out of here.
And you want to use it on all 3 of them.
Yeah, I kind of just want to not act tough, but just kind of like not back down and just kind of be like, can you just let us on our way? That kind of general, just leave us alone impression.
Okay, so create impressions. That difficulty is going to be 2 because that's a coincidental effect.
Okay.
However, there are 3 targets. So either you can approach it and try and get 5 successes, or you can add 3 paradox dice to your pool.
Do we want to just start off? Why not?
Yeah.
Do it.
It's not like we ever got hungry crits before.
Yeah.
It's never happened, even once.
Yeah, it's true.
Listen, you've never had a paradox crit? Never once in your life?
I think
Actually, Tab has had them a few times. How do we do?
2 successes on paradox dice. But
Okay.
I needed, I needed 2. That's right.
That's what you needed. So the pirates all go. And what exactly did you put in their head? You just got almost like a 1-sentence thing.
Leave us be.
The lead pirate looks at his fellow ruffians and says, "We should leave them be."
What's the name of the island, though?
And pass.
The Isle of Bones, clearly the superior.
Oh, all right, goodbye.
We'll leave you be now. And they all kind of, they're a little confused,
Not
but
sure where
like
they're going.
the idea of leaving you be isn't so outlandish that they question it. So they just sort of wander off.
Yeah. Success.
And as they leave, the harbour master comes up and goes, "Oh, you must be the wizards. I'm terribly sorry about the street toughs. I'm not much of a fighter. I was here to direct you to the dread pirates."
Yes, thank you. I love to be addressed as a wizard. That makes me feel much better about myself. And yes, we're here, I suppose. Are we all here to see whoever this is?
The dread pirates.
Fantastical name that I don't believe
What do
is
you call
real.
the island? Specifically, you.
Me?
yeah.
Yes.
It depends very much on who I'm talking to.
Oh my god.
So this is kind of a pivoting thing
Well,
based on...
it's whether I'm talking to the Isleys or the Bonies.
I'm not even going to ask any more questions.
I'm going to write that down.
In private, what do you call it?
When no one else is around.
Bones Island.
I can't explain yet.
But yes, I mean, the Isleys, of course, are the faction that believes the island should be called the Isle of Bones. And the Bonies are the ones who believe it should be called Bones Island. So it's important here to figure out who you're talking to if you're going to refer directly to the name of the island.
What's the ratio are we talking? Is it like a 50-50 split? Or...
Oh, I shouldn't like to say. I haven't performed a census of any kind.
Okay.
How about if we just say bones?
if you're looking,
like, just refer to it as just
bones.
bones.
Well,
The place of
Or
bones.
how about
can't-
the island?
I mean, compromise pleases everybody. But if you're looking for the Dread Pirate, you'd be looking for 7 docks away. The way you get to it is you just sort of walk out of the docks, and you just count to 7 as you go along. It's the biggest and fanciest house, and that's where you'll find the Dread Pirate, who you're looking for.
So what camp is the Dread pirate in? Is he in the Bones or the Isley? Is he? What
the
is he?
Dread Pirate is the leader of the Isleys, yes.
Okay, that was good to know. I just
The
want to
letter
make...
says Bones Island.
I can't speak to the provenance of any letter you have.
Okay.
A lot of free time here.
Oh, I like to keep busy. So if you like, I could show you to the Dread Pirate.
I mean, it might be good to have you walk with us just so we'll know like what camp we should be in depending on who we run into.
Would like to also get away from whatever this is.
Let me show you along. And he kind of ushers you along a little nervously as he walks and brings you to a large and a house that's noticeably large and more decorative than the other houses around it. But not huge. We're not talking about a mansion. It's just looks like someone has just decided that their house should be a little bit bigger, and has successfully actioned that. What do? Do you want to knock on the door?
I cast knock on door.
You can knock on the idea as a mundane action. I will not call for a roll.
Okay.
I'd also like to see if I can sense any thing from the person whoever opens the door.
From whoever opens the door?
Yeah, just like see what the general vibe is around.
Okay, so that would be sort of read surface thoughts, which again is a level 2 spell, coincidental. So you knock on the door, and another pirate opens the door, and he says, "Oh, hello. Are you the wizards?" And then
Yes.
you can do your effect, which is going to be again a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
And you don't really need to juice this at all. You're just this is a pretty simple bit of magic.
I'm just feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
I really do like being called the wizard.
Yeah. We're the wizards. That's what we'll be called from
success.
now on. Yes.
3 successes. Okay, you absolutely manage it. You hear that he's a little nervous about because the Dread Pirate has been awaiting you with some degree of anticipation. He says, "Oh, we must see you through. The Dread Pirate will want to see you immediately. Welcome. Can I take your coats or any of your accoutrements you're carrying?" And Chancellor Yoon goes, "You seem to have a lot of baggage for such an old lady. Perhaps I can help."
I'm good, thank you.
"Oh, of course.
He didn't mean that. That's a little rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Not
I didn't
everyone
mean to
has.
be rude.
We might have some baggage, but with age, it does increase.
Yes. I apologize. I should have been more polite to you so that you can better enjoy the time you have left."
Jesus.
What is this
So-
person wearing?
And this guy's wearing he's wearing kind of a typical village-ish peasant clothes, but he's tarted them up a little bit. Like he's wearing a rough-hewn, clearly homemade shirt, but it has ruffles around the collar.
Oh yeah.
He's a fancy pirate.
Pirate earring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like someone who's more concerned with the appearance of being a pirate
Oh yeah.
than perhaps the dirty business of piracy.
Drip never takes a back seat.
Absolutely.
Even
Whatever that means, I agree.
Even if pirates have pistols.
I'm actually gonna go and pat this person on the back,
Oh, jeez.
like the old lady that I am, and
Do you have an old lady name for them? Like,
hey, oh, dearie,
look at Deer is pretty good.
that is so kind of you to help me with my limited time that I have on this planet. And in the process, I am doing a symbol on his back.
Okay.
And what I'm trying to do is trying to all of the thread that is holding his clothes together.
You're just using basic transmutation to turn all the lead,
All the thread that
all
is
the thread in the shirt.
that is holding like everything, that all the seams and stuff, keeping everything together, to turn into. I can't do air, right?
No, you can do water. Water's a classic.
Spaghetti.
Then he'll have a wet shirt that is not keeping his
together.
clothes together at all.
Water, then, yeah.
Okay, water. So that's a pretty simple spell for someone such as you. However, because this is clearly vulgar magic, difficulty is going to be 3,
Okay.
and you're going to want to add either you want to get 4 successes or you want to add 1 paradox die.
I will add a paradox. You said
So a thing you can do if you want to bring the difficulty of that down is you could spend quintessence on this. You have 2 points of quintessence by default.
no, let's go for it.
Just go for it. Just
Yeah.
YOLO. Okay.
So this is right.
Yeah, absolutely.
cool.
So what are we looking at?
4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So the humiliation of this man is immediate as his clothes seem to sort of dissolve off of his body. And he goes, "Oh no! Oh, I'm naked and in front of an old lady. This is terrible. I'm so sorry. Please go through to the Dread Pirate so I can cover my shame."
Tough break there.
Oh no.
I'd have that looked at.
So for the audience at home, the reason why the difficulty on that was so high is that in this setting, magic is a lot harder to do when it is obvious, and is especially hard to do when it is obvious and someone who does not know a lot about magic is watching. So that was why that was a very high difficulty roll.
Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like no one's saying it wasn't worth it at all.
Yeah. I just look at him like, oh no, you wet your pants all over.
There's no well pants. You just wet
Yeah.
Yep.
pants off.
Yeah, he just begins to sob.
The accoutrement is gone.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, so as you walk in, this is a very well decorated place, by the way. There's paintings up of a figure called the Dread Pirate. And as you walk through the door, you see, in fact, the figure from the paintings. He has a lot of portraiture of himself. He's an unassuming man, very thin, with a large set of glasses that look with lenses like bottle tops, like very, very thick, and he sort of peers at you over them and goes, "Oh, you must be the wizards. Oh, it's so wonderful to finally meet you. Welcome to the Isle of Bones."
I'd like to transmute sound to make it sound different.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
I'm ready. Look, let's roll some fucking dice.
I'm just joking.
We do look visibly taken aback.
Yeah, we're just like,
Everyone did this.
You can do that, because I am the Dread Pirate Nigel. It is great to meet you all. And how are you finding your stay on the Isle of Bones so far?
Everyone has been fairly rude,
Oh,
it's very confusing.
but I don't understand why we're here in the first place. Supposedly we're supposed to take on a quest or something that's very grand and wizardly.
Oh, I see. You're here for a quest. Well, of course, a wizard's quest would be perfectly nice. Are you aware, do you know much about the archipelago on which we currently stand?
Absolutely nothing.
I don't know what that word means.
Well, welcome to the Victoria Isles. This is one of 7 islands in the island chain.
And what do you call this island?
The Isle of Bones.
Okay, I write it down.
Do the rich and famous live here?
Well, I mean, more so every day, yes. Perhaps all kinds of strange characters find themselves on the Victoria Isles. Now, there's some things you should know about the island. Firstly, there are 2 factions, the Bonies and the Isleys. The Isleys, of course, are somewhat more refined, as you can probably tell. Whereas the Bonies are sort of savage, evil creatures, sort of with brains no better than those of, say, a muskrat. The Isleys report to me, of course, the Dread Pirate Nigel, and the Bonies have their own person that they report to. Now,
And who's that?
well, that would be Hendrix.
Isn't that who sent us the note?
We're talking to Nigel.
Oh.
This guy's a cop.
I think he's a cop.
Oh, there's no constabulary here, like, not yet. I mean, quite to the disappointment of a lot of the people here who would rather have a safer time. No, there are no police on the Isle of Bones at all.
Mm-hmm. That's what a cop would say.
So why did you bring us here?
Well, I brought you to my house on the Isle of Bones to make sure that you knew all the various politics of the island before anyone else could get in your ear and get you to make a bad decision that wouldn't be in your own interests or the interests of anyone else. Oh no, of course, I would never threaten 4 mighty wizards. I'm not suicidal. But I became aware, of course, that Hendrix had invited you to the island, and I thought it would be much better if you were able to talk to someone a little bit civilized before being subjected to him.
How far away is Hendrix from here? Well, his spot.
A little way, but before we get on to that, there are 2 factions currently fighting over the Victoria Isles. There's what one might call Hendrix's faction.
The Bonies.
They call themselves they call these islands the Unconquered Isles, which is rather arrogant, I think, and I'm sure you'll find in 30 years that would be a rather comical name for the island chain. And there is, of course, those of us who call them the Victoria Isles. I'm working there with my friends from a very exciting group called the Order of Reason. Now, they are helping us to bring a more civilization to the Victoria Isles and get things to be a little bit less you know, in the hands of the wrong people. Let's say that.
So I have
Question.
Oh.
Miss Edmonstone.
I don't know who the okay. So Aura might know who the Order of Reason is, and I'm
Yes.
going to use my sheet to say, do I know?
Absolutely. So if someone asks at any point, like, it's fine to ask, like, do I know this?
Yes.
So you do know the Order of Reason.
Okay.
I'm like backing out.
Yeah. Liga takes a few steps back. So the Order of Reason, an organization of, they would never call themselves this, but essentially mages. But techno-mages. They use as their focus technology. And they are determined to narrow down the scope of believability in the world so that only their paradigm of magic works. They are, to different degrees at different times, running a pogrom on mages from the Council of Mystical Traditions, of which all of you, with the exception of Saoirse, count yourself as members.
Yeah, I'm an orphan.
Liga, one of the reasons why you are, of course, traveling to these islands is that you are being hunted by the Order of Reason.
Okay, and how do the Hermetics in the Order of Reason?
They don't get on great.
They don't like
to them. You are reality deviants.
Okay.
You are doing things the wrong way.
All right.
And making the world worse for everyone.
Okay. Well, I don't like the Order of Reason, so.
Well, I mean, I see some disappointed faces when I say the Order of Reason. Let me just make a pitch to you that should you believe in the cause of civilization over the anarchy that Hendrix represents, you would simply join me in overthrowing him, and I will cut you in on the sail of this island. So that's S-A-L-E. I know, little bit of maritime humour from us dread pirates. The sail of the island, the Isle of Bones, to the Order of Reason. They currently, of course, don't know where it is, but they soon will, and when they do, it'll be taken over quite swiftly, I assure you. Go.
I was going to say, can I do alter simple life forms? Oh, never mind.
That would be mostly on yourself at this level.
Never mind.
While Nigel is certainly a simple life form, ultra simple life forms normally works on things like plants, viruses, those kinds of things. If you wanted to give him like a really bad cold, you could absolutely do it.
Give him laryngitis. I'm sure.
But yeah, he says, and I'll cut you in on the sail, which will be quite lucrative. Now, all you would need to do, take care of the dread pirate Hendrix, a simple matter for those such as yourself. His men rely on him entirely. So as soon as he is gone, you would simply use this device, and he pulls something out of his desk drawer, to send a signal to me and my men that Hendrix is taken care of, and it is time to attack. Think it over. As I said, I know it seems like you arrived here with little more than the shirts off your backs, and you could leave here as incredibly wealthy people and then explore the Victoria Isles at your leisure.
Somebody take the device.
I'll take the device.
Of course. Oh, I'm glad that we seem to be.
I'm going to put it into my sea coat. I don't know what I'm wearing. Is there a way that I could, like, sense or like kind of manifest a spirit of the island?
Sure, you want to? So you wouldn't be able to summon the spirit of the island. What you have at the moment is Spirit Sight,
Right.
which would allow you to look into the spirit world around you, and you could speak to whatever spirits are already there. Generally, if it's a sight kind of ability, you can use it without a roll, because otherwise we would constantly be rolling
Right, yeah.
a roll that you only have a 3% chance
I want to
of losing.
see if there's any sort of like manifestation of the island, like the land, and I'm just gonna see if it's around and then ask it if it would like to be sold.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask someone around here if they would like to be sold. I'm happy to keep this device. I'm not interested, and I don't think my crew is interested either, but...
So here's an interesting thing that has never happened to you before. As a child, you were often told not to stare directly into the sun. It's one of those unfortunate things you have to tell children who will otherwise fucking do it. Perhaps at one time you did look directly at the sun.
Yeah, it happens.
This is the spiritual equivalent of that.
Oh!
Jesus.
You are used to looking into the spirit world and seeing a sort of strange reflection of the world around you, where metaphor is more important than the actual matter of things. you are overwhelmed immediately by the sheer spiritual power of the place that you are in. And it takes you a minute to collect your senses. And until then, all you see is just a plain white light. So go ahead and give me just a resolve and composure roll.
Ow!
to attempt to keep your shit together.
Okay, let's see. Resolve, what do I have? I got 3 in resolve, that's good.
So that's going to be
And 3 in
6
composure,
dice total.
yeah.
And these are all just regular dice.
Okay, so I got
3 and
4. Simple.
So you did great. Not only do you stay on your feet, but you barely show a sign that anything has happened.
Okay, so I don't go ow.
And then you wait for a second,
I put on
and you just
Put on your
see
spirit sunglasses.
you see a man standing in front of you, looking at you quizzically. He's very dark skin and very long hair. And he looks at you in a very friendly way. He's an older gentleman. He looks like he's probably in his 50s or 60s, but with mages it's hard to tell. And you can tell just from looking at this guy that he knows some magic.
Yeah.
He comes over to you and says, I don't think we wanted you to be here yet.
Oh, hello.
Who am I speaking to?
My name is Aura Edmonstone.
Oh, lovely to meet you.
Let's shake hands.
Just go ahead and call me Bill.
Bill. Oh, all right. Are they seeing me talk to nothing?
They are not seeing anything happen at the
good.
moment.
Okay, good. Like that would be sad.
Yeah, none of you are aware that has happened, other than that Aura has spaced out a little bit.
All right. I am not a fan of this Nigel person we've been speaking to.
I'm in a lot of agreement on that.
I don't think that. Did you want your island to be sold?
We certainly do not want our island to be sold.
Oh, that's excellent. I don't think that's
Nigel
right.
either. But I think it's important that we all make our own decisions.
I agree.
I wanted to talk about something while you're here.
Oh, yes.
And you realize for a second that the music that has been playing over and over in your head
I would like
for
to
the
not
last
talk about
7 months is silent. And he says, don't worry, it can't hear us. Not here.
I thought I was just gassy, maybe. I don't know
Looks
why
like-
it's quiet.
Looks like you have a little passenger.
You could call it that, in a manner of speaking.
Well, look, you got some tough times ahead of you probably with that thing, but you're going to take care of it, all right? I just want you to know that.
It's not very nice, Bill. Do you think anyone here could help me get rid of it?
Probably not yet, but you know who there's one person that I know this thing is no match for, I'll tell you that much. Aura Edmonston.
Me?
See you soon, Aura.
But Bill,
And then
how is your hair so luxurious?
and the music is back.
Oh,
And it whispers to you and says,
Aura, I couldn't see you. Where did you go?
and I answer, I was gassy.
What is this gassy? I will discover more about this.
No, please don't. I was having.
Master this gas.
No, you won't. You won't do that. Stop. Stop it. Stop.
I will devour all of the gas.
Dude, what?
And it will be a part of me, and it will be nothing.
Why don't you? Yes, think about that for a while. Think about gas.
the music begins again, and the voice is silent. So Nigel sort of goes, she all right? Your friend?
Awkward
This happens
conversation.
from time to time.
I was just, Nigel, I'm sorry, I was gone for a moment. The island does not want to be sold. I asked it. Its name is Bill.
Now, I don't know any, well, I know a pirate, I suppose. I know a lot of Bills, but most of them are on my side.
Do I think Bill looked like one of the people who was here originally? Possibly murdered by Nigel and his folk.
Bill certainly didn't look like he was capable of being murdered by Nigel.
Okay, good.
But
Nigel.
Yes.
Yeah.
you couldn't quite tell the provenance of Bill. He was wearing kind of very
Could've been a
ordinary and
pirate,
simple clothing.
Could have been anyone. Okay.
Yeah. It's just as a little moment, a parrot appears in the window,
No.
and Nigel throws a rock at it and goes, "Go away! No, don't."
We don't like that.
What was that?
Daddy's mean to parrots.
It's nothing. There's a lot of birds on the island, and you know they can be They can be a nuisance, can't they, birds? It was terrible. And the pirate says, Nigel's a dick! Nigel's a dick! Nigel's a dick! And he throws something else at it and goes, someone's taught the parrot to taunt me.
And fly up to your window.
And fly up to my window. They're very intelligent birds, it turns out.
You must get good treats for that one.
Well, you have given a good argument. I think that, though, for us, we should really get everyone's thoughts. Thank you for the thing.
Nigel's a dick.
I'm gonna put a pin in that thought.
We will revisit that.
Yes, we have the thing, and we will...
Well, I mean, stay a moment later, and we can start to talk. I can tell you more about Hendrix.
Thank you, bye.
Weaknesses.
Thank you, goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
And then the parrot says, Barbara's coming. Barbara's coming. And Nigel says, please don't leave.
What? Who's Barbara?
Barbara.
Barbara's coming. This is just, it would really mean a lot to me, and I would certainly reward you financially with the currency of the Victoria Isles if you were to protect me.
So is this
From
currency
Barbara.
only good here, though?
It's gold.
Any order of reason post on the Victoria Isles will take this currency. Yes.
No, we don't want your blood money. We're going to go. Good luck with Barbara.
You open the door,
God, Barbara.
and an enormous black dog bounds past you.
Okay.
This dog looks like it probably weighs about 200 pounds.
Well,
It is
that's a
bigger
horse.
than most dogs that you have ever seen in your life. It pays absolutely no attention to you at all and jumps onto Nigel's desk and snarls at him,
Oh.
to which he falls over back in his seat and cowers behind it. Go, get away! Get away, Barbara! I'm not scared of you. He's
this is-
definitely scared of Barbara.
You're scared of the dog.
Have you seen the fucking size of this dog? It's very ill trained. You could be careful of it. You should all kill the dog. It'll turn on you next. Use your magic to destroy it. And then you hear a voice that just says, "Come now, I'll have none of that." And a figure appears in the door. It says, "Barbara, come by." And Barbara jumps off the desk and plonks down in a way that, like, large dogs don't really know how to sit, so they just sort of stop standing. Mm-hmm. It just sort of and lies down next to him. Goes, "Nigel, you appear to have waylaid some of our guests." And Nigel says, just explaining things to everyone. Noble master, lovely to see you again. I knew you wouldn't be far off when I saw the parrot, but yes, just welcoming them, offering them some tea. Were you offered tea? I meant to offer you tea. I didn't get around to offering them tea. I'm so sorry that I didn't give you tea. But really, Master, nothing terrible going on here. You can take Barbara and the fucking parrot and simply leave with your guests.
Who's this? I'm pointing at this newcomer.
Master of Hounds, madam.
Wait, you're not Dread Pirate Nigel?
Oh no, that's the. He looks at Nigel and says, "The Dread Pirate Nigel."
That's
The Dread Pirate Nigel. I guess the Dread Accountant Nigel didn't really have the same ring, did it now, Nigel? And Nigel says, "Oh, very into branding."
so. What, you're both named Nigel?
No, I'm the Master of Hounds. Pleasure to meet you. I look after all the wildlife on here on Bones Island.
Have you ever met someone named Bill?
I know a lot of pirates.
Are they all named William?
I know probably between 30 and 40.
All right, that doesn't help.
A lot of bills.
Well, nice to meet you. We are on our way to go.
Sorry, I came to escort you to the
Oh.
pirate Hendrix. If you'll come with me, of course. Everything on Bones Island is completely voluntary.
Wait.
You're not
What did you call it?
Bones Island.
Finally.
It's funny.
Like our invitation said.
I'm so fucking confused right now. Okay. Cool. Bones Island.
Sounds great.
Well, we'll be going on. See you later, Nigel. And Nigel goes, yes, of course. Hopefully not for a while. No, you're taking Barbara with you, I hope. And the Master of Hounds says, we thought we'd leave her here since you're getting on so well. But as it turns out, as you leave, Barbara does come with him.
Can I pet Barbara?
You can absolutely pet her. Yeah, Barbara loves you immediately. And then just brushes her huge head up against your leg. No, not scary at all. She's a sweetheart.
Accountant.
He goes, I apologize for that. I had men at the docks who were supposed to bring you straight to the Dread Pirate Hendricks.
Were there 3 of them?
Unfortunately, they were waylaid by the 3 men that you met. Oh. Don't worry, their waylaying days are quite behind them.
That's for the best.
Now, if you care to join me, I'd like to head down to the River of Souls. And we can follow the river up to the foot of the river, and where Dread Pirate Hendricks is awaiting you.
To the foot of the... Is this the foot bone that I heard about?
Oh, I see you've become familiar with some of the geography of the island. Yes, go down the River of Souls.
Yeah, the waylayers
To the foot of the river.
educated us a little bit.
Where'd the parrot go?
Oh, Little Wing, she'll have headed home.
Oh,
Little Wing's a good name.
I wanted to scritch her.
Oh, well, I mean, we can call her back.
No, it's fine.
And
No,
he
she's
gives
got
a, he
this.
gives
She's
a
got
deep,
parrot.
like one of those 2-finger whistles. You can tell this is a man who could, like, probably whistle as a sport if he wanted to. And Little Wing flies back up, lands on your shoulder, and says, Nigel's a dick.
He sure is.
Yeah.
Scritch, 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 scritch.
And you begin to walk through Bowen's Island. Or there's certainly the town that is by the docks, which is called Docktown.
I still have my spirit sense on. As
Oh,
well,
yeah, if
because
you
I
want.
want to see if I can see anything that's of note.
So as you look at the spirit world now, it's a lot more what you're used to.
Okay.
It isn't just like the camera's being whited out.
Okay.
You see a little bit more, and you kind of see you get a general sense of the spirituality of the place. That it seems like a happy place. As scary as it is, you see a lot of spirits jumping around, more spirits than you're used to seeing. It's a very, like, in terms of like the animistic view of the spirit world, it's very busy.
Oh.
There's a lot of different stuff going on.
Interesting.
But the spirits are certainly happy here,
All right.
despite the slightly spooky appearance of the island.
Yeah.
And as the master walks you through, you also see just people going about their day. You know, he nods at everyone to go by. They go, "Good evening, master," and he goes, "Good evening." And everyone has a friendly nod for him. No one's running into their homes as he passes by, as it seems like Nigel would. Occasionally, a group of people will not say hi to him. He will look at them, and they will simply shrink away into an alleyway. And you might suspect that those are Eilies.
So you're of the belief that this is Bone Island?
Bones Island, yes.
And that was your accountant back there?
Ex-accountant. Yeah.
Ex-accountant, okay. Well, that clear...
Nigel is a, how do you say it? A buffoon.
Well, yes, I gathered as much, but it also seems like he's a bit of a Eily, like we learned at this term.
He is indeed the leader of the Eilies.
But
He wasn't lying about that.
yeah, he wasn't lying. He didn't try to hide it.
I think he was probably trying to tell as close to the truth as he could, because he didn't know whether or not wizards can tell when you lie.
Yes, that's true.
We can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am well aware. You're actually not the first wizards I've made the acquaintance of, or should I say mage. I apologize.
I were wizards.
What happened to the others?
Oh, they're all about the Isles.
Okay.
A lot of magic folk around here.
Okay.
They travel,
So did you bring the Order of Reason here?
He certainly did not, no. He does not look amused that you have asked that question. You notice like almost a flash of anger in his eyes. He says, "I would never invite the Order of Reason here, no. I am not a fan of those gentlemen, my lady."
Okay.
Oh, we're not fans either. None of us are fans.
Yeah, like
We're not fans, no.
Good. That was my understanding from the mages that I have met, was that the Order of Reason were, dicks.
Yeah, that'll sum it up.
Huge, huge dicks.
But no one really knows who invited them or how they got here. Islands are supposed to be protected as such from colonizers and conquerors and anyone who would take them over.
It's a pretty spiritually active island. It
Oh.
seems very magically in tune.
You've been speaking to the spirits, have you? I wish I could speak to them myself, but tragically not my gift. I'm just good with animals.
Just like Barbara.
Barbara, yeah. Barbara seems to like you a lot. Yeah, I have a lot of different dogs. It's something to keep me busy in my old age. And as you say that, you begin to approach a river. There's an oarsman there who appears to be waiting, and he goes, "This is the ferryman. He'll take us the rest of the way. Strong lad. If you'd like to get into the boat, and he offers you, particularly, offers you a hand in case you would like a little assistance."
Sure.
And he gently makes sure that you've gotten properly into the boat, and he goes, I understand your cult members are a little further behind. Was it Casimiris and what was the other one's name? Laumina.
Lamina.
We're heading off to the ship you arrived on to bring them back in. And what was it, Owen and Neve? They'll be here soon, Miss Saoirse.
Okay.
He knows all of your names, despite the fact that none of you introduced yourselves.
Yet we don't know his exact name.
No, people around here call me the Master of Hounds. Or, when they think I can't hear me, M-O-H, they call me Mo. I shouldn't like to be called that by someone I didn't consider a friend.
Okay. So we're not there yet.
Oh, well, we'll see how we go.
Okay. All right.
You all get into the boat, and you hear the oarsman strike up a song.
Are you gonna sing?
Is he a skeleton?
He's not a skeleton. He's a normal man. He's very, very tall.
Is he made of bone? I'm just
He's about 6'9" and looks like he weighs about
Damn.
140 pounds.
That's too tall.
That's a real
That's a
thin
skeleton?
man.
What are you talking about?
And as he sings to you, as he rows, he sings, "Lay anchor where the spirits rest, and never walk alone. The hopes and dreams of many lie upon the..." And then the Master of Hounds looks at him and he says, "Upon Bones Island."
I was about to say, like, what?
And with that, we call an end to our first episode. Join us soon, where we will continue Mage of Sail.
I have a song that I'm gonna sing that'll explain everything. Go into space.
You're on this journey with
Yeah,
us.
you were already in the spirit realm. Where do you go now?
I had family on that boat.
Use the proper word, had.
We will burden ourselves with these secrets together. Before we begin, I'm going to award the Magic vs. Patrick Award for the last part of the show to Lydia
Doesn't count.
for turning the threads in someone's shirt into water so that they were fully nude.
That guy was a nerd. He deserved it.
Yeah, he did deserve it.
Hey, you got one.
So yeah, but it's still in play. You can perhaps win the award next time. So when last we
magic.
saw our wizards, you were on a boat traveling down the River of Souls. Is there anything you'd like to chat about while you're on there? Or should we skip through to the next scene?
I would love to know why it's called the River of Souls.
Are you going to ask the Master of Hounds?
I would love to do that. To ask the Master of Hounds. I won't call him Mo yet, but
Yeah.
I want to in the future.
So the Master of Hounds looks at you and he says, it's on account of, at the end, there's a big foot. So,
Oh, the spelling.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's
I wrote it down wrong.
SOLES, the
Okay,
River
yeah,
of Souls,
yeah,
and
okay.
it takes you to the foot of the river, which is you'll see it. It's coming up now.
Islands of
You set that up
comedians.
so early. God.
With the game, how well do we know each other?
You guys have actually just met.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You met when you were landed on the docks for the first time.
We just played it cool in front of
Yeah.
that asshole, Nigel.
So yeah, this is an opportune time because the boat ride takes about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to introduce yourselves to each other, this would be a good time, and I can just drink some coffee.
Can I just get a sense of them? Their mind?
Oh, you want?
shit, your
Oh
magic
yeah,
on
if you
us?
want.
What?
We're
I'm
gonna
not
get into
Mind shield.
PvP already.
I just
Fortress.
I just want to kind of just.
Yeah, can I
I'm not like attacking their vibes. I just
You
want
just
to
wanna
know
get,
what their
like-
vibes are. Like,
Okay.
attacking their vibes.
You could just use
While she's doing
humanity.
that, though, I'm just going to be prattling on.
Okay.
So just like, I do live in London. It's quite nice there. Blah blah blah. Like I'm just
Just trying to fill the silence.
yes.
Because when Bones Island is silent, it's very, very
I
silent.
don't like silence either. So I can usually hear things in the silence that I don't want to hear. So I'm like, oh well, look at that, another parrot.
I'm used to silence, so I'm like,
And I've already introduced myself. I'm Aura Edmonston, which is stone, but whatever. Yeah. Blah blah blah.
It's, so Saoirse,
yes.
you're using read surface thoughts or empathic bond. Do you want to know how people are feeling, or do you want to know what's at the front of their mind?
I just kind of want to get their feeling. Like, how are
Okay,
they
so that'd be
feeling about all
empathic
this?
bond. It's so your difficulty is 2. You're going to, and you're close enough to everyone, you can get a little bit of insight into them, which insight being your focus skill for this.
Right.
So because there are 3 targets, you need, and assuming that no one tries to resist, you need 3, you're either going to need to get 5 successes, or you're going to need to add 3 paradox die. And you can, of course, reduce the difficulty using quintessence.
I'm not really that worried about it, so I'm not going to put any spin on
You're
it.
just going to see what you get.
See what I get.
Okay,
stank.
so go ahead and roll those dice.
I have 3 successes.
You got 3 successes, so that is going to give you 1 extra person.
1 vibe.
Yeah, so pick 2 people at the table, and you want to know what their vibe is. You want to know what they're feeling.
I want to pick the loudest and
Okay.
the quietest.
The loudest and the quietest. So
That's
one
a really good
interesting
way to do it.
thing that you is that when you start to form an empathic bond with Aura, you start to hear this strange music that doesn't sound like any music you've ever heard before. And it's very loud, like almost distractingly loud. And Aura, what is Aura feeling right now?
I mean, I feel like she's scared. She's scared of. I think she's more scared of these like ruffian pirates because she's from the noble society.
Oh, quiet, yeah.
So she's not really feeling the vibes of the ruffian pirates.
Right.
She's fine now that it's all mages. She seems to like the company of mages and wizards, but when it comes to the others, she's feeling very uneasy about the rabble.
Okay.
And Wilhelm, what are you feeling right now?
Wilhelm definitely has a front of playing it cool, but he's actually really, really sad from some recent events that had transpired. He's not necessarily used to a lot of noise and talking, because I was just on a retreat in Alaska prior to this.
Yeah, so have you talked at all on the 7 months that you were on that ship?
I don't think so. Been very quiet.
So Aura's doing the worst thing possible, which is just word vomiting.
It's not bad. Wilhelm just hasn't heard vocal cords for a long time.
So yeah, so that's the impression that you got from each of the people. You know nothing about Liga at all because you didn't get enough successes. So she's still a closed book to you.
All right.
So is anyone else have anything they want to do or on this little rowboat?
I ask everyone's favorite food.
Okay.
Salmon, fresh caught.
Just like,
Yeah, just straight.
Oh,
Yeah, caught with
that's
your own
interesting.
hands.
Sashimi.
as a person, not like a bear.
Yeah, human mouth. It still works. Teeth.
But there's parasites.
If you get it right away, they're not there.
Do we know about parasites at this time?
I don't. Aura does. I'm not going to make a roll for the idea that salmon might be unhealthy.
I just was like, in
I'm very smart.
the year of our Lord, did we know what
They would
parasites
know
were?
not to eat raw
1859.
fish.
Right.
Yeah.
They would know
Yeah.
not to
There
eat
was-
raw fish.
There's a translation convention. Perhaps if we're wrong and parasites hadn't been discovered yet, it's like, but it's bad humors.
Yeah, bad humor is to eat salmon raw, but that's fine.
I can alter simple life forms, and I make that bacteria go away.
There you go.
Just roll for it every time I eat salmon.
How about you, Liga? What are you doing for a favorite food, or do you not answer? Always an option.
I like to have. This is the opposite of me in real life. A lot of like real milk and real cheese.
Just
all dairy.
Oh, love
Authentic.
cheese.
Yeah.
It's good.
And Sish,
I'm a fan of a good stew. Yeah.
Warm.
the Master of Hound says, "Well, there'll be plenty of food at the feast."
At feast.
Oh, you said too much. Look,
Did you mean feats? The soul?
Feats.
Surprise
Of the feats.
that's what I meant. I meant at the feet, at the foot of the river.
yes.
Yeah. And as it comes, you turn around a bend and you see the foot of the river, which indeed is or the Bones Cavern, as it is otherwise known.
Does it look like a stupid foot?
It's made of sheets of white rock and is shaped like a big skeletal foot.
The foot bone.
Not a big foot,
Okay.
a big foot.
Do you
Okay.
also have a general understanding that like there are like 50 solid bones in a foot, right?
Yeah, I
there's
know.
a lot.
There's a lot of these bones all together. It looks like a big foot.
And I'm just like, oh, it does look like a stupid foot.
So the river winds in between the big and sort of index toe of the foot, and you all given the
Never
opportunity
heard it
to
called the
alight.
index toe.
Yeah, the index toe. What's
I guess it
really
makes sense
called?
if I apply it, but it's.
I mean,
No one's ever said
middle
like
the purpose of language is to communicate. Dave.
I guess you're right.
Are we talking about the middle toe?
No, the one next to the big toe, the
That's
index toe.
Oh, I call that the middle toe.
But it's not.
But it's not in the middle.
I know.
So why do you call it that, you pervert?
A lot of feet talk. We're gonna have to back off.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this out.
This is Patreon content.
Yeah, that's all Patreon.
I don't
content.
know. I don't know. You know too much. Okay,
Only
anyway.
pirates. This is going, you're only pirates.
So So you arrive within the Bones Cavern at the foot of the river, and the Master of Hounds offers a hand to each of you as you go out. I don't know which ones of you take it. I'm guessing probably not Wilhelm.
Wilhelm's not gonna take
I'll
it.
take it.
I'll take it too.
I'll take it because I'm used to my assistants. or
I
whatever.
pretend I don't see it. I don't want to be rude.
Yeah, you
But
just.
I'm just like, whoop, oh, I was looking down here.
Just trip a little.
Yeah.
And the Master of Hounds and Barbara lead you through into the greater part of the Bones Cavern, or the foot of the river.
Okay.
And you see, so the first thing you see is right next to you. You see the Master of Hounds blinks a little bit at the bright light of a huge brazier that is right at the front of the cavern. It's lighting up most of it.
Pretty dramatic.
Otherwise, it's very much a cavern, but they've done the best they can with it. It's all lit by torches across the walls. There's no electricity as far as you can tell, which would be very futuristic at this point. And at the end, there is an enormous, what one might call a throne, in terms of its size. But it's pretty threadbare. Like it's not fancy or ornamental. It's just like, I need a big chair. Here's a big chair. Looks like it might be kind of comfy.
What's it made out of?
It's made of wood.
Okay.
Yeah, nice and simple. There's an enormous stone table runs across almost the entire length of the cavern that appears to be laid out for a feast. There is not food on there yet, but there is certainly place settings for where food may at some point go.
How many place settings?
There's would be like 40 to 50.
Wow.
Like there's a lot
For the feats later.
for the feats. And sitting on the bone throne is the bones throne is you see what can only be the dread pirate Hendrix. He is above all else a snappy dresser. He's wearing a long red coat and sort of vibrant silk clothing.
It's a proper pirate.
He is perhaps the ugliest person you have ever seen in your entire life.
That's pirates.
But is he pouring
Yeah.
it off?
Well, yeah, he looks great. His skin is kind of pallid and grey, and is just covered in scars. It's very hard to tell how old he is, but he looks like he could be in his 70s at least.
Wow.
Or like maybe a little younger, but with some city miles. He's missing an eye, and you know what he's done there? He's fucking popped an eye patch on that sucker.
Yeah, of course.
People don't have to look at his eye hole.
Yeah.
And much
Sanitary.
and much of the rest of his face is obscured by kind of really thick facial hair that's kind of patched out by scars. Little Wing has returned home and is sitting on his shoulder.
No.
As he sees you, he stands up, opens his arms magnanimously and goes, "Yeah!"
Very much more pirate than last time.
And the Master Rounds goes, "Yar."
Yar.
And as you say that, he goes, "Yar."
What do we agree to when we say yark?
Narp?
I don't know.
And he just
Hello.
Oh, you say hello, and he
There's
goes,
a vibe check.
"Yar."
I think I should do it too.
You must be.
The dread pirate Hendrix, indeed. He
That's right.
says, and then he reaches for a lozenge. Because he remembers how much it hurts to do the voice of the dread pirate Hendrix for any length of time.
Pirate voices, they be hard.
Yes.
You're hard.
Welcome to Bones Island. The wizards are here, and everything is going to be okay. Did you have a safe trip?
For the most part.
Relatively.
Yeah.
They're ruffians, but they're
We
fine.
ran into Nigel before.
That guy sucks.
Yeah, we think he's a
He
dick.
does suck.
Yarg! Gave us
Yarg.
a thing.
Yes, I was going to, I'm sure your parrot already would have told you, but Nigel was trying to, not that we know your character at all, but I'm just going to assume you're trustworthy because you have got an eye patch. So I'm
Way cooler than Nigel.
So I pull out and say, Nigel gave us this strange device, and I don't like strange devices anyway, so if you would like to take it off of our hands. Your parrot would have told you.
So he walks forward and he clasps your hand as if shaking it as he takes it, and he takes it from you. Nigel gave you this.
Yeah, we were supposed to push it when like everything was ready to be
When you were
attacked.
dealt with.
Yeah.
And we're not double crossers. That's not our nature.
We'll be a
it's a
little
pirate
upfront
We're
thing.
here to be honest and upfront. The pirate way. It's a yar.
Yar.
He just looks at it for a moment. He goes, "Master, Nigel," and the Master of Hands just nods and goes, "I told you, he's a shithead." Wait, this device was made by the Order of Reason.
Yes, he seems to be quite in bed with them,
Yes. He was trying to get us to join their
which
bed.
none of us are interested in, though.
He looks just terribly sad for a moment,
Oh.
and he says,
Yar.
"Nigel, I knew he was difficult, but to
That's a word.
throw his hand in with the Order,
Were you two friends, or?
he was my accountant.
Well, they do like order.
Yeah.
He decided that he wished to make a name of himself as a dread pirate himself, and I have no wish to press gang anyone into my service. You know, on the Isles you are who you say you are, so if Nigel says he's a dread pirate, then a dread pirate he may be."
Did you
But
hear
what-
that? Any of us can be dread pirates.
What makes a dread pirate a dread pirate? I'm curious. Because it's there's a word before pirate. And it's cool.
There's an element of dread is important. It's
Nigel
must-
didn't have that.
instill fear
Yeah.
in one's enemies. But let me tell you, may I ask your name?
My name is Wilhelm.
Well, indeed, I suspected as much. On the Isles, well, people are who they say they are. If you wish to be a dread pirate, you must merely declare it.
Okay.
And it is so. But we have little use for traitors, I'll tell you that much. What exactly did he say to you? If I may be so bold as to ask.
Oh, he told us that he wanted to sell the islands to the folks of reason.
Those good folks.
The folks of reason.
And I spoke to Bill, the spirit of the island, who I'm going to assume was the spirit of the island, and Bill told me that they're not interested in selling.
Well, I don't know anything about that. Spirit.
Well, that's how I make decisions. If
But,
the island's not interested in selling, then we're not interested in selling the island or working with Nigel.
I can tell you for sure that we have no interest in selling Bones Island to
Oh,
anyone.
he was talking about all of the islands, the entirety of the Victoria Islands.
Don't use call it the other thing, which I forgot.
It's
Unconquerable Islands.
That's the one.
I'd stammer.
I wrote it down.
Let me.
Victoria just comes easier to my tongue. I apologize.
Yeah.
He doesn't look mad.
Dodgeball.
I was raised by buffoons.
He says, well, let me bring you up to speed. It seems Nigel has already been whispering in your ear. These are... Welcome to Bones Island, first of all.
That's the one.
It's the home of the Dread Pirate... I think I said the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Him too. He
The
lives here
Dread
too.
Pirate Hendricks. And those who, for their own reasons, choose to follow him. This is part of the Unconquered Isles. Island chain of 7 islands, each more magical than the last. But it's always been a home for, outcasts, adventurers, explorers, anyone who, those who wish to explore, but not those who wish to conquer. The sea around here, we call it the Traitor's Sea. And it won't allow ye to get to the islands if you'd conquer them.
Oh.
And this was how we kept them safe all of this time. There was peace across the islands for thousands of years, and there's all kinds of crazy shit here you won't believe. We got snakes. I met one of those. We got mages. We got a few vampires. And we got a lot of just regular people who are just cool and chill about it. And about 50 years passed. The people in he spits, it's just the order of reason, found a way around whatever charm it is that lies across this island, that stops them from finding it. We don't know how. But they're able to get around the island's protection, and of course they did, as colonizers will do, and began to try and conquer the Unconquered Isles in the name of Queen Victoria. They bring more colonists in by the day. And while the people of the islands are fighting them, and I too am fighting them as best I can, now that you're here, things are going to be different.
Can I vibe check him?
Sure.
Call that vibe check from now on.
Yeah, I was gonna call it a vibe check.
You can just write that down under ropes.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
vibe check.
Vibe check, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you want to know? So you can read his surface thoughts, or you can create or form an empathic bond. So you want to know how he's feeling, or like what is at the front of his mind?
I want to know if he's genuine. I want to kind of get down to the meat of him.
So you want to read his surface thoughts and see what he's thinking?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead. That's coincidental.
Okay.
Yarg.
He is going to be able to roll against you.
Well, yeah.
So let's pull out
check.
some dice
Yarg,
for
Yarg.
Hendricks.
Very good.
Yarg. Yarg checking.
That's the first merchandising opportunity.
Yeah.
Yarg check.
So he's going to roll a considerable number of dice against you.
Of course.
So how much do you want
He's
to
a dread pirate.
juice this roll? Because this is going to be a resisted roll.
I want to juice it.
So how many paradox dice do you want to include? Paradox dice, in this sense, is an automatic success against Hendricks. So essentially, how hard are you pushing your mind into his?
Pretty fucking hard.
Okay, so we're talking 5 dice.
Why not?
All right, let's do it.
Hard Yarg check.
I mean, if I'm laying in bed with this gentleman, I need to know the vibe.
Hard Yarg
Like-
check. So good.
Like, he wants us to go against the British Empire, so...
Yeah.
So that's
They're pretty strong.
is that
Don't like them, but
Is that what?
is that a
lot.
normal die plus 5 or what?
So that is going to be, all of your pool is going to be normal 5. It's going to be paradox dice.
Okay.
Is there another red? No. Okay. I'll just go with this one. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to use this?
No. This is only that's
It's
only
non-
for you.
it's
I don't want to
non-transferable.
get any bad juju because that's yours. Okay.
Really good call.
I got 4 successes and a skull.
4 successes and a skull. So you got 4 successes So that's 2 over margin plus 5, so 7 successes.
Wow.
If you say so.
Did you get... So actually, did you get a skull on a paradox dice?
Yeah.
So go ahead and put down on your sheet under paradox 1 persistent paradox.
And that would be in the paradox blocks at the top. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
You got 1, 2,
Pair
3,
block.
4. Okay, so you 5.
Is that a check X thing or no? That's how you do the roll.
No, you just check that off
Okay.
and just fill out it.
Yeah, paradox, that'll mean I'll have to include a paradox dice no matter what one at least moving forward.
So you beat the Hendricks. One thing is interesting is that you have previously watched in your life as a circus performer, people do crazy things like smash wooden blocks with their bare hands,
Right.
things like that.
Right.
You once saw someone attempt to imitate this without really, there's various tricks to it, with a piece of stone, and the hand shattered. That springs to your mind as you try and enter the mind of the Dread Pirate Hendricks, this idea of trying to hit stone and nearly shattering.
Okay.
That's the first thing you see, you feel, but nevertheless, you overcome it.
Okay.
So you were trying to get his thoughts or his feelings?
I just want to make sure he's not wishing us ill will. Like, he's bringing us in on a mission
Yeah.
That'd be feelings.
to not, like, we're not you being used as bait. We're not, like...
So you hear what's at the front of his mind, which is, I hope they say yes. I mean, with Nigel's betrayal, I don't know how we can carry on if they don't.
No.
Okay.
Poor pirate.
As you do that, he takes a
Nar.
step back and he looks at you. And he looks faintly disappointed,
Oh, wow.
but not maybe surprised.
No, that's fair.
He takes a minute and goes, excuse me, I have a slight headache. You'll have to forgive me. Too much to drink last night, I suppose. So, the Order of Reason, they bring more colonists by the day. We don't know how they're doing it, but I take as many of their ships as I can. I have a ship to spare. I would offer it to the 4 of you, if you will agree, and this is the only thing you have to agree to, is to fight the Order of Reason upon these isles, however you see fit. And whatever treasure you take, you take. I would advise you share it amongst the men, of course, but I'm merely providing the ship and the crew.
I don't really want to make enemies by name necessarily from the Order of Reason, so could we just maybe come up with our own like group name, Dread Pirate name, something, but just write it on the ship?
But of course,
yes,
whatever
yeah.
you'd like to name the ship will be up to you.
All right, we'll workshop that.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I don't really want to make necessarily larger than life enemies such as the Order of Reason. I'm just saying,
Well,
but I'm happy to.
Yeah, we're down to-
I'm happy to wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, we're down to fight.
well, that's the kind of talk I like to hear, indeed.
I feel like League is like, I guess I'll fight. I was trying to get away from them, but
Do you say that out loud, or is this what you're thinking?
I say it out loud. Like, I was trying to get away, but sure, I'll fight.
Well, Liga, may I call you Liga?
No,
What would you prefer?
League is fine.
All right, well, League is fine. I understand that you've run into the Order of Reason before. You know, I know a little of the politics of the world where it regards the Order. But it's always been my opinion that the best defense is a strong offense. I've never known a mage who escaped them, but I've known mages who beat them. But it is, of course, up to you. These are the unconquered isles. No one will force your hand here. If you take my offer, I'll provide you with the ship, the crew, and the freedom to go wherever in the isles you wish. And we'll also have a great feast. Now, if you should say no to my deal, then we'll just have the feast anyway. And you can all go home tomorrow.
He's kind of scared for a minute.
I have another question.
Please, Miss Edmonston.
I believe a ship is extremely expensive, so
Aye.
I feel there might be some information that is being withheld about the amount of danger on perhaps why the Order of Reason is here. Other than, I don't think they're really interested in having colonies. I don't think colonies are important to them. I think there might be more to it than that. Just, I'm asking openly and honestly, Pirates Code or whatever. I don't know the Pirates Code actually. I don't have an eye patch. I could go like this if it makes me more trustworthy.
Well,
Yar.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Well, they're working, you see, with the hated British. The Order of Reason, my understanding of them, and I'm not much of an interrogator, but they're pretty high up with the old British, up all the way to the top, to Queen Victoria herself. Whatever they see, they conquer.
I don't feel like magic has any sort of queen or king. It should be above everything else.
I agree, in a sense. I mean, I can't do magic, so maybe not above everything.
Magic and knowledge are above royalty, is what I'm saying.
Oh, quite agreed. Almost everything is above royalty when you're the Dread Pirate Hendrix.
I just think that giving us a ship without knowing that much about us and sending us an anonymous letter that... Also, how did you...
Yeah, how did you
To be fair, the note wasn't anonymous. I signed it.
Well, I'm not anonymous. I mean, but how did... At the time, I'm pretty sure I was hiding somewhere underground in someone else's apartment, and I still got the letter. I'm not sure how that happened.
Well, you see, you're not the first mages on the island. I'll say.
Oh, that makes sense then, yeah.
Are there
They
others alive?
helped me out a little bit to find suitable candidates, and I'll confess we sent more than 4 letters. I was hoping perhaps for more, but the Isles won't let you come here if you would conquer them. So that's how I know I can trust the 4 of you, because if you were colonizers or conquerors, you'd never have found the place. That's how I know I can trust you. And there's an air of desperation to the way he's talking.
May we have a huddle?
Oh, please do. Huddle away.
Like, I bring everyone for a huddle. I'm like, hey, you want a free boat?
I'm down. We get the whip, we get the squad.
Oh, yeah.
Hendrix does say, please feel free to huddle, but please don't literally huddle, for it'll block the camp. It's me in
We
imagination.
have to have a GoPro right there for the
Huddle camp. Episode 2.
yeah.
Well, I get a feeling from him that he's desperate.
Oh, then maybe we can,
Like, are we getting a crew with this boat?
Yeah, he said we get some friends.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know how to.
It's going to be the 4 of you on the ship. Like, how do you steer this thing? You've got a total of... Let me just count quickly. Between you,
It's a lot of...
you have 1 dot and sail. So yeah, he's giving you a crew.
Okay, good.
You can ask for some grog?
Yeah.
Grog's good.
Here, that's
Grog's
great
good.
around these parts.
Grog.
We need milk.
Powdered, is that all right? You don't
Give
want
me a
milk in
cow.
the ocean. A
Or
cow?
or a goat? Do you do?
We need some fishing nets. That's
What
all
sort
I
of?
need.
What sort
All right,
of?
fine.
Yeah.
A cow, some grog, anything else?
Like, in addition to the crew, should we have some protection?
A cannon.
I mean, I don't know how to shoot a cannon. Do
We'll
you?
figure it out.
Muskets.
Muskets.
They look imposing. That's all that really matters.
Yeah,
They
you
won't
just
come
open
here.
the little hatch and stick it out, and they're like, woo!
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Like,
And a tea room. We need a tea room.
a tea room?
All right, we just have a few small requests.
Hey, please, you go ahead.
We would like a cow,
Hey, we can give you a
perhaps
cow.
a tea room, just small.
Aye, well, the large the rooms would be for you to do with as you please.
All right, that's fine. We would like just a few barrels of grog on the ship.
I must confess that I assumed that you'd be wanting grog.
I mean, we didn't know. We didn't want to assume.
Aye.
Oranges.
Oh, oranges, so we don't die of scurvy.
or
Yeah.
something?
Actually, did you know that seaweed has more vitamin C than oranges?
No, we
I
don't.
did not know
Yeah,
that.
and so they were just,
mind.
all
Let's
the
just-
sailors that get scurvy were just stupid and didn't want to eat seaweed.
Hey, well, let's not call the sailors stupid.
We're ignorant of it.
Fair. The last thing we wanted was a cannon.
Aye, there's plentiful cannons upon the ship.
I think we're done. And yes, we agree to your terms.
Aye. Well, there is a small side quest, if you will. In my old age,
How old are you? You look great for your age.
I was born in around 1755,
That's...
so I guess 104 at this point.
Well, you really do look great.
Well, yeah, thank you. I try my best. So about that age, you stop counting after a while,
Yes.
And he says, while you're huddling, you see him approach the master of hand. He goes,
Hey, master, would you bring Nigel before me, please? He'll answer for these accusations, of course.
We get dinner and a show.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Are they going to pirate fight?
I fucking know who my money's on if it comes down to a pirate fight.
Oh yeah, I know who my money's
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
If you take my request, this side request, if you will, in my old age, I've become more interested in family. In my younger days, I put it about a bit on the Isles, and I've sired a number of children who have become estranged from. If you could let them know that to visit and see how their old Da is, I would much appreciate it. I don't know where all of them are, but...
And we bring children back to the Bone Throne.
How will we know that they are one of yours?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I suppose that's the part of the detective work is finding them. But, last name Hendricks. There's
Eye
not
patch?
too many. There may be an eye patch or
All
two.
have eye patches. 2 eye patches?
I know
You can't see.
I know that Mary lives on Isla Vitae.
Oh. I don't like that name.
Is there any sort of family resemblance we should be looking for?
Oh, it's an incredibly potent seed. I imagine they'll all look just like me. Handsome.
Noted.
How many wild oats did you sow, roughly?
How many sails have you filled?
I hate this.
That made it worse for some reason. I think it's the verb. Anyway, go on.
I believe there might be... forgive me, I'm not a man of numbers, but we're looking for at least 7.
That's an easy number. It's a lucky number.
Not to give you the full interrogation, but roughly, do you remember the year or how old you were at this time? Because you are lengthy in years.
Well,
I'm just wondering what age
seed
is.
is so potent.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah,
His wind is so strong.
It's so...
No.
It's hard to keep track sometimes. Birthdays. I haven't been the best papa, and
So that's why they haven't visited you.
there may be something along those lines.
Now, is there a way we can encourage them to come back to perhaps some inheritance of treasure?
I mean, treasure here on Bones Island is, we share it all. I don't have
Treasure of fatherly
treasure
acceptance?
of fatherly love to
But
see their old dad
perfect.
again. Perhaps. I don't know. They might not like me.
Have you considered therapy? It's a good time to start.
I'm not familiar with this.
So just over the last, let's say, 70 years, you have sired 7 kids.
It's about 1 per decade. That seems like a normal amount.
All right, okay, fine.
How long have you been on the islands?
Oh.
Just walks away from those kids. It's just, how to be a man in 1850.
You come home to Papa.
Sorry, what was the question?
How long have you been on the islands?
1784. I know that birthday. So, a while.
Why does that stick out in your mind so much?
It was the most important year of my life. I love these islands.
Was there other reasons behind it being so important other than the islands?
This is my home. These are my people.
Did
So-
you Oh, go
No,
ahead.
no,
It's
no.
fine.
I was
My
just gonna
que-
say, so you felt like displaced before you found this place.
Aye.
My question was stupid. I was just going to ask have you slept with any mermaids?
Well,
Merman.
More people.
well, you know, a man must have some secrets.
We're looking for mermaids.
Certainly,
Mer people.
More people.
I haven't seen a mermaid myself. Although I did see one of it. I believe it was in fact a manatee. And I did not, as
No, they
the
don't want
case
that.
was,
No.
fuck it.
No, they do not want that. No.
Well, I'm glad we got that
Those
cleared
are
up.
those are the gentle
no.
sea cows, and they don't want any of that.
Not
no.
a fucker of sea cows, me.
No.
No.
Fucker
Is that the
of sea
pirate
cows.
equivalent of a ship?
Aye. You'd be wanting to ask Nigel, probably.
That tracks.
I'm upset.
He's a bad fella.
Yeah.
We know too much of the seamen here.
Aye. Potent seaman.
It's Moby Dick all over again.
I just enter the spirit world. I just
Your ghost
You want to
leaves
see
your
all the stuff
body.
going on?
I just leave, and I'm like, anyone around?
Do you want to use your spirit sight?
I do. While this is happening, I would like to use the spirit sight.
Leaving.
Yeah, this vulgar pirate
We're
talk.
on about semen and filling
So while
sails.
doing that, while the vulgar pirate talk is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on,
I can't handle the poor aura is like.
you enter the spirit world. Or you don't enter it.
No,
because
I'm
you
looking.
You just check it out.
Yeah.
You see that in the metaphor of this place, this cavern is a grand throne room. It's anything that you might have seen if you visited Buckingham Palace. You know, this is a seat of great power and glory because that is what people believe of it on the island.
Makes sense.
You also notice that even in terms of the spiritual power on the island, the Great Brazier, you realize is in fact a node.
Oh.
Using your etheric senses that I'm just saying you turn on
Yeah.
at the same time. So a node is a kind of nexus of magical power. And a mage can, should they be short of quintessence, take a long rest or meditate at a node, whatever their practice entails, in order to restore their quintessence. Or if they have prime magic, they can just suck some quintessence right out of it. Just
Okay.
drink from the hose, yeah.
Yeah. I would like to do that.
Okay. Oh, you also see Bill.
Oh, hello, Bill.
He's standing right next to the throne, and he goes,
What's he doing?
he's just watching.
I look over and they're all making like dick gestures. Bone throne. Everyone's just like, like I'm like, I like point to them and point
Yeah.
to Bill, and I'm like, do you see this?
I mean, honestly, it's because of this conversation that this episode is rated R.
Go into space.
You're on this journey with
Yeah,
us.
you were already in the spirit realm. Where do you go now?
Yeah, so you,
Oh my god.
are you just going to spot this
He
thing
doesn't-
and just be like, excuse me, I have to go and...
Yeah. Well, I'm looking. Bill's still. Bill's there, and I'm just like, Bill. Like, what's this guy's? What's going on here, Bill?
I'm not even here. Well, I'm not supposed to... Just go back. Pretend I'm not... I'm going to go. And then Bill disappears.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever. And I'm just like,
Okay, so that's an effect. That is there's a bit of magic. While everyone's having fun, you just kind of sidle off.
yeah.
So that's a level 1 effect, but you do have to do a roll.
Okay.
So what we're deciding is the amount of quintessence you're going to get from this
Okay.
is how many successes over 1 you get.
All right.
You can also guarantee a success with a paradox dice.
Okay. So how many do I roll?
You're going to roll 5 dice.
Okay. I would like. Oh, but I can guarantee success if I do a paradox dice.
That just means you're going to get a point of quintessence from it.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay, how many are you going to use?
Just the 5 or the 4 and then the 5th.
Okay, so you're gonna get at least 1 guaranteed.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll. Okay, so good news and bad news. You got
1 point of extra quintessence. So you should now have 3. You started off with 2, and I just realized I didn't put those 2 on everyone's sheet. So
Yeah.
you all have 2 quintessence.
Okay.
Now you have 3. Go ahead and also write down a single point of paradox. That's now persistent. That's going to go in all of your pools from now on until it wears off or is discharged.
Yes.
Liga, you are also able to do this if you spy the node. If you didn't spy the node, you probably noticed Aura like sidling off to it.
Yeah. See, or I'll like finger guns, like.
Node.
Yeah. Well, they're still like, I'm on throne.
Dick. Still.
I back up and go towards the node.
Okay, so do you want to do the same roll?
Yeah.
2?
2 successes?
2 successes, yes.
So 2 successes plus a paradox dice, you get you add 3 quintessence to your existing total of 5. And by the way, in case anyone was wondering, the act of telling another mage where a node is called sending nodes.
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving. Send a bunch of nodes.
I've had a great time.
Yes, it's been nice.
It's been a really great time. So the 2 of you that don't have Prime, peasants that you are,
Yeah.
you're not able to do
And
this.
we're over there.
You're not able to
having
just
fun.
sloop this up.
Yeah. A silly straw.
Yeah, but should you run out of quintessence when you're on Bones Island, this is a place you can come back and do a long rest and get some of that back.
Yeah.
And what that practice looks like is different for each mage. It's however you feel that you get attuned with this this kind of mystical energy. So while Hendrix is sitting there going, yeah, boobs, he's having the best time.
Mermaids with boobs.
Yeah, mermaids, hey. Which way round would be better? It's impossible to say.
Fish part on top or the bottom?
Yeah, it's hard to know. That's what Hendrix and Sish were talking
The
about
eternal
right now.
question.
No.
Do you guys have any
Well,
other
that fish
questions for
half.
Hendrix, or do you guys want to? We can start the feast.
I'm like, please start the feast.
Yeah.
I'm here for the feats. Wait, feats.
No.
Sorry.
Mermaids, they don't have feet.
So
Unless they have
long
a journey.
Anyway, no.
Don't.
I think we're good. I don't know.
okay, and Hendrix goes,
Ring the bell. It's time.
I do have a question.
Don't ring the bell. It's not time.
This is not really to Hendrix, but is it day or night right now?
"It's night right now.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have anything in particular you want to do with that information?"
No.
Okay. As I said, the sun was setting when you first arrived, and it set fully while you were in the lair of the dread pirate Nigel.
Okay.
And he says, okay, well then, we'll begin. The feast. Ring the feast bell. Prepare the feast food. Set up, all the feast stuff.
And that is where we'll leave our episode for now. Because the feast is this whole episode.
Nice. I mean,
See you next week.
Yarn!
Bye. Yar.
Nar. Dick.
Dick, sticks.
Boobs.
I'm a pirate.
I didn't have that on my notes.
Lay anchor where the spirits rest and never walk alone. The hopes and dreams of many lie upon Bones Island. Lay anchor where the spirits rest and never walk alone. The hopes and dreams of many lie upon Bones Island.